Okay, Rsaba podcast number 4. Very special guest today, Noel Hodgson. How's it going?
Pretty good. Glad I'm not American.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Oh, well, the school shootings.
Oh my god, you're really gonna start off with that?
I'm starting strong.
You plan the podcast? I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna talk about money. Start off with that.
The bang. Start off with a bang.
Dude, listen. This is gonna sound very controversial, but I think that like a lot of kids die every day in other countries, and
Doesn't get discussed.
yeah, exactly, 100%. And dude, listen, I'm not downlining those deaths because like that is horrible.
Yeah.
They're young people that died, and that's like, dude.
It is much more tragic.
It's
than
horrible.
Someone dying of. I mean, it's hard to like judge tragedy subjectively, right?
No, you
But
can't. You can't.
It is more tragic if you look at it at face value than a kid dying in Africa of starvation, than someone buying a gun legally and
No, well,
walking into.
I don't think it is. I think they're just like the news broadcasters are like, okay, we have a story that's gonna make us a buttload of money. Let's get it out, advertise the shit out of it. That's kind of what it is, realistically. Money motivates the world, right? So like when they see this, they're like, oh, okay. No one's gonna care about these genocides
story
going on.
Get clicks. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. But I was talking to a coworker today, and we're like, okay, so 50, 60 years ago when our grandparents were our age, you could, like, no one would lock their doors. There was no school shooting threats, but, like, the same gun laws and everything in all these states.
What happened?
So, yeah, that's what we were asking, like, yo, what the fuck happened? And I was saying, well, actually what he was saying, and I kind of elaborated on, no, video games.
You know, that actually, like, is very, like, fitting because that fucking Twitch streamer that just went into, the Twitch streamer that went into the grocery store?
No.
Well, a couple weeks ago in Buffalo.
Okay.
The Twitch streamer literally he taped his iPhone to his, like, chest or something.
Okay.
And he went to the grocery store with his gun.
Okay.
And shot people. And, like, he streamed this on Twitch while he was doing it. So, like, it was live and thousands of people have the recording, and, like, Twitter, Facebook, they're doing their hardest to delete it the second it gets posted, but so many people have it recorded that
oh my God.
they can't keep it under wraps, and he literally went in there and killed people, and you see him like shoot them.
So what games did he play on Twitch?
I'm not sure what games he played, but he literally did say that he thought the shooting games were a great training exercise for shooting.
Exactly. So and he at first my coworker was saying Call of Duty, and I'm like, dude, Call of Duty big, like it's training, you're shooting a gun, but like, look at GTA, man.
Oh, I know. It
like
teaches you not to have repercussions.
Yeah, any 12-year-old can go on GTA and like you kill 30 people, you rape a prostitute, you do this, you do that,
Drive your car down the sidewalk.
Let's say a cop kills you, you respawn.
Yeah.
It like it gives you like that. Yeah, no repercussions. Like, oh, I'm back. I have all this fucking money, and people don't like. I know that they have the M on it, like M, mature, 17 plus, whatever.
But nobody actually listens.
No one gives a shit about that, dude. You know what I mean? So like,
it's like a rated R movie. Nobody.
Yeah, so a lot of things should have age limits, but they don't. Yeah, rated R movies are another example. I don't know. I'm not like I think social media should have an age limit.
It should definitely have a form of repercussion.
Yeah, 100%.
Like all the racist abuse shit.
Or like if Facebook had like a not even a feature, like a necessity where 2 hours is your maximum amount of time on this app, or Instagram. Like if the Meta company did that, because dude, it's a fucking addiction. And I think it's just as harmful as a drug addiction.
I mean, well, you can even set like the app restrictions on your phone.
Yeah, but dude, it gives you a notification.
And you can just go into it.
I'm saying you cannot
extend your limit. It becomes second nature. Just go in there and extend your daily time on the app.
So I'm saying you literally can't click on the app. It's not allowed. Just like I'm 19 now, but like, just like a 17-year-old can't go in a liquor store and buy alcohol. He literally can't. Obviously, you can ask a friend or whatever, but like he can't. Legally, he can't. I'm saying there should be some type of repercussion like that.
Or like some sort of app that takes total control of the software of your phone that like prohibits you from actually clicking on the app.
100%. Kind of like
patent pending. You heard it here first. No stealing of intellectual property.
100%. No, it's just like we got these ideas flowing in left and right. But like that's so the reason they don't, and this is kind of why I wanted to talk about with you on the podcast, is because money drives everything, and the more time people have on that app, the more money they make because of advertising. Yeah.
Right.
That I disagree with. And I'm the side of this debate that loves money, and you're the side that thinks money is just some bullshit illusion that drives evil and greed for no good reason. But like I hate that they're doing that just for money, because you're fucking rotting a bunch of young minds.
Oh yeah, completely.
Like a bunch, and like who knows what our next generation is gonna be like when we're the dominant generation, 30, 40-year-olds. We don't know the long-term effects of like too much information. People go on Instagram and they'll probably look at 100 pieces of different information and absorb 0.
Literally, yeah. Because it's information overload. You can't look at that much stuff and absorb all of it.
Exactly. What are the long-term effects of that? You know what I mean? No one knows. Exactly. Right? Because it's not good. Like, what if it's like memory loss at a younger age?
My favorite comparison with social media is, have you ever watched Fight Club?
No, but I know like briefly.
The basic concept of it.
Brad Pitt, isn't it?
Yeah, so Brad Pitt, the guy who like runs Fight Club,
okay,
the club where they fight.
Yeah.
He tasks all the members of the club to go out and start a fight with someone.
Okay.
But the only catch of starting that fight is that they can't retaliate. So they start the fight.
Okay.
And they do whatever they can to start the fight. But once that person starts retaliating against you, you're done. You have to let them relinquish the anger.
Let yourself get your ass kicked?
Exactly. Brad Pitt's philosophy in that is that it will let people it'll unleash their rage. You know, it makes them more healthy as a person, and it'll get them addicted to fighting. He wants them to come join their club. He's kind of got selfish interest. But the thing is, in the movie,
so that's how they recruit members.
Yeah, and by word of mouth.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, that's hilarious.
But the thing is, in the movie,
the
thing that he found the most funny was that nobody would fight back.
Wait, is this... Sorry, I'm going to keep this in the podcast. You guys are noticing. See how it's like a straight line? Is that still...
Is it not recording?
I don't know. I feel like it shows that, and then look, it like kind of disappears. It's okay. Whatever. Okay, so what happens with Fight Club?
Okay, yeah, so nobody would fight back.
Okay.
So it reminds me, like, extremely of social media, because anyone who has in front of a phone will say anything that they want to.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect analogy.
And the second you get into someone face to face, your balls are gone.
Yeah.
You have no courage anymore.
100%. Once I hopped on this like self-improvement train, I was hearing left and right, oh, this person said this about you, this person said this about you. I'm like, well, they didn't say shit to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no one's saying... Because no one wants to fucking embrace that face-to-face courage, fear that you feel when you say something to someone face-to-face. It's a lot harder than going up to someone on their... Or even talking shit behind someone's back, which, like, everyone does now.
Yeah.
They'll do it fucking, like left... I hate doing it myself. I obviously will always...
Everyone does it.
Exactly.
It's just human nature.
Exactly, but, like... Yeah, sometimes I do it and I'm not even noticing it. I'm like, fuck, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? But like, no, it's not good. Yeah, don't and like that Fight Club analogy was perfect. A perfect way to describe it, because they like get addicted, and then they're like, oh my god, I can fight and I can just kick someone's ass, and like that's actually a really smart way to hook up your fucking members.
Yeah,
get them hooked, because like as soon as you like
kind of an
fight,
addictive way, but it's very smart.
Yeah, dude, because like you get them fucking hooked. Like once you fight and you kick someone's ass, that's gonna be the best fucking feeling ever.
There's a quote in that movie. It's like, you never know who you really are until you fight someone. I don't know if it's actually true, but
I feel like you'd be a fucking... I've heard you are, but like if I pissed you off, I think you'd fucking crush my brains. Like that's the thing. I've heard you when you're angry is like even like medical patients, when they have seizures, they turn on some type of like...
It's just the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Flows through their body.
Like, I've talked to a nurse and he told me the last thing you want to do to someone who's having a seizure is try and stop the seizure, physically, grabbing them.
I had to learn that in CPR school.
That's where I learned it. CPR, like how to get your CPR. I was getting my CPR certifications. Like, the last thing you want to do is grab them. Yeah, no, because like that's fucked. And he said like the worst type of seizures actually is people like drug addicts having withdrawals, especially alcoholics. Yeah, because like their withdrawals are bad, dude.
That's a whole other topic too, right?
I know. Because they get so like their bodies. So when you drink alcohol for like the first time, or you do it like once a month or once a week, it feels fucking good. Because you give your body and your brain that 6-day break of drinking alcohol. When you do it every day, it becomes normal.
Yeah.
And when you're not on it just fucking sucks. Yeah. So it's like, okay, my body doesn't know what normal is anymore. It thinks normal is being drunk. So when you're not drunk, it's like fucking crazy. It's like withdrawals, seizures, vomiting, headache. It's horrible, man. So,
I read about this like phenomenon called delirium tremens.
Okay.
It's something that alcoholics experience when they come off of being alcoholic.
Okay.
So alcohol, when you drink it, it suppresses your dreams. So like your REM sleep, it suppresses your REM sleep. So you don't reach REM sleep, which is where all your like hallucinatory dreams happen.
Okay.
So alcoholics who drink every day for like multiple months, which is more common than you think.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of fucked up.
When they go off of alcohol, all that dreams comes back to them. Like the second the alcohol's out of the system, doesn't wait for you to go to sleep. It comes to you and you dream while awake. And you're like in this constant dream state for like the entire, like, I don't know how long it lasts. I think it's like around a day, but like you're just like, you're rendered useless. You can't move and you're just dreaming.
So it's like a fucking intense acid trip.
Yeah, exactly. That lasts a day.
Wow, eh?
And I heard that fact and I was like, I've been turned off. Again, there's multiple things that can turn you off to alcohol, but that was like something that has.
I honestly don't understand why it's so socially accepted.
Oh, I know, eh?
It's kind of insane. Like, why does alcohol get a pass?
It's because it's been around the longest. It's the most widespread.
But it's an actual drug.
It is a drug, yeah. But somehow it's funny if you notice, like when people talk about things, substances, they say drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, but it's like alcohol is a drug.
Alcohol is a drug.
100%. I'm just making sure I'm in the frame rate. I don't. Was that when I was doing this? Whatever. So.
Looks like it.
No, when I was like leaning like that. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Your head's there.
Okay, whatever. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So alcohol is a drug, right? It's like not like the reason they say drugs and alcohol is because like the traditional drug is like something you'll find in a fucking prescription bottle,
right?
And like it's a pill. Yeah, it's a pill. You pop that shit. No doctor's gonna prescribe alcohol for you.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't serve any medical purposes. It's just like, oh, take this, you have a good fucking time.
Yeah.
That's all it is, right? But I mean, like people need to learn how to have a good time sober. Your natural state is sober, and if you constantly using alcohol as an escape from reality, that's a fucking problem.
Right.
And it's probably a source of your depression.
And especially like the way I like look at it is like, especially if you're a working man or a woman, of course, and you work every day, and then on the weekend you drink.
Yeah, which most of them do.
Humans are creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna work during the week, not drink, and then you get to your weekend and you get fucking hammered.
Mm-hmm.
That creates a very, very dangerous habit of your brain now associates
the weekend
and your freedom.
Yeah.
Your so-called freedom.
Yeah.
With drinking.
100%.
And
100%.
It's a hard cycle to break once you start.
And it's like a mountain, right? So like you're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is like uphill.
You're thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it.
It's like an uphill battle. Like it's tough. Like fuck, it's Monday. I love Monday, but like most people hate their fucking Mondays because it's like, oh, 5 days away, and then I can get drunk. But like, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going uphill, then they start going downhill, and it's like easy, and it's that cycle for the rest of their lives: uphill, downhill, downhill. Dude, taking a year off before I went to college was the best decision I ever made in my life because I'm encountering these people every day. They're talking about, oh, I can't wait to finish work so I can go to the bar tonight. Like, bro, you are out here. Like, so what they do, this lower class mindset, this factory worker mindset, is they'll go and they'll say, oh, I don't have enough money because I don't get paid enough. But then they go, they spend it at the fucking bar. Like, why? Look, first of all, you don't get paid enough. You're right. But you're not doing anything to try and get paid more. All you do is complain that you don't get paid more. You're not like actively going out trying to find a new job. You're not trying to build on a new skill to do something. You're not going to college or anything. You just sit here and complain, okay? And you're not like, what you're doing is only making you poorer. Going out drinking, smoking fucking weed. You can quit your cigarette addiction, but you don't. You know what I mean? Like all these things, like so.
Financially and psychologically poor.
Yeah, exactly. What is psychologically poor? That's the main thing. Financially poor is one thing, but like if you're psychologically poor, that only makes you financially poor.
But like the importance of having a good time every once in a while cannot be like undermined, right?
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah.
It's like even if like I'm not saying drinking is a good thing, but
you don't even have to drink that every time, but you need to enjoy yourself.
Some people, unfortunately, do need alcohol to enjoy themselves. And
yeah, but you can stop that.
You can. But like, say you go out and get hammered once a month, it's not that big of a deal.
No, it's really not.
And if that is like your one thing where you have,
but experience a great
amount of elation.
What is your reason for getting hammered? Is it like, oh, I'm escaping reality?
Exactly. That's where it's important.
Exactly.
Is what is your reason?
Like, do you just hate your sober life so much that you need to be drunk, or do you just like want to fucking have a fun time?
Yeah.
There's two different reasons.
I don't drink that much, but like, there was a time where I was thinking about. I drank a couple weekends in a row, and then every weekend I would start thinking about drinking, and then like I kind of had like a realization that this is stupid because it's so harmful to your body, one, and two, it's not sustainable. So every time I had the thought of drinking, I kind of stopped what I was doing and isolated myself, and I asked myself, why do I want to drink? And like, why do I want to drink right now? And if you really get down like introspectively, you'll probably find the reason,
the root,
why you want to drink.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
It's probably something. It might be something to do with a girl. It might be something to do with stress from school or weight or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there is always a reason. Just like everything you do, there's always a deep standard reason.
Yeah. And the flip side of that is every decision you make has consequences. Every single decision. You can drink tonight, you're probably going to get that instant gratification, and consequences can be good or bad.
Yes.
So there's good consequences you get from alcohol, right? You're going to feel good you might not even feel good. You might feel like shit depending on how much you drink, but you usually feel good. And then what are the long-term consequences? So that is the main difference between the psychology of successful people and the psychology of unsuccessful people. Is the psychology of successful people is like, hey, I need to be disciplined enough to skip this instant gratification and realize, how is it going to harm me in the long term? If you want instant gratification, go fucking smoke meth. It's going to be the best instant gratification you're ever going to get. Yeah. Just fucking shoot up some heroin, dude. You'll get the greatest instant gratification. But you don't even have to be successful to know that, oh my God, long term this is going to kill me. You know what I mean?
If it's between drinking and heroin, though, I wouldn't suggest drinking.
Yeah, okay. But you understand the relation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to skip the instant gratification. Even fucking wanking. Even wanking is not good for you. It's not. It's horrible. It really lowers your testosterone, specifically with like porn addiction now. It's so prevalent. Yeah. It lowers your testosterone. It lowers your confidence. It just makes you a weaker man.
And I find like, if you get into like a habit of doing it, it just becomes like a habitual thing, you know? Like
you're not even thinking about it.
You're not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you just have a wank and that's it.
100%. And it's never been more prevalent.
And you never get the same thing out of it as you did as when you were a 14-year-old and you just discovered it. Now it just becomes like.
And even if you like, look, there's a huge difference between doing it like 2 or 3 times a day and doing it like twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like twice a week, that's like normal. Like, dude, at the end of the day,
we're all human. You get these. Sometimes.
Yeah, dude. Right? You know what I mean? Like, we crave 4 things. I've said this in one of my videos before: sleep, food, water, sex. Those are the 4 things you are born addicted to. There's no way around it. You're gonna need at the end of the day, it's an addiction. We are naturally addicted to water, food, sleep, and sex. That's it, right?
It's wired into our DNA.
Yeah, like you need to sleep.
Yeah.
If you don't sleep, you're gonna fucking die. That's the withdrawal symptoms. You know what I mean? Those are the withdrawal symptoms. You know what I mean? So yeah. So and before you die, it's even fucking worse. Like I don't think it's true, but like the Russian sleep experiment. You know what that is?
Never heard of it.
So it was like, I don't think it's real, but like basically it was like they had these fucking people and they wanted to see what would happen if they just didn't sleep. So they kept fucking throwing in gas.
Of course it was the Russians.
I don't even think it's real, but like this is the story. And they kept throwing in like gas or drugs or some fucking shit that would make these people awake.
Their thought too was probably, how can this make us better at the Olympics?
Yeah, and these people just went fucking insane. Yeah, at the Olympics. Or how can we become better wrestlers? Yeah. But either way, the people just went fucking crazy. Like their skin started deteriorating.
It became insomniacs.
Oh yeah, it was.
So
fucked.
it was like induced insomnia.
Yeah. It was fucked. Yeah, it was kind of fucking insane. And like, yeah, I'm sure. And like, they started like killing each other and shit. It was.
I mean, I don't know the specifics, but like, I know that if you don't get enough sleep, like the quality of your brain.
100%. Dude, anyone can tell you that firsthand. Compare a day where you get 3 to 4 hours of sleep compared to a day where you get 6 to 7. It's a vast difference.
Yeah.
You're sharper. You know, you're quicker. You're in a better mood.
Way better mood. Yeah.
Much better. Right?
Much better mood.
You know, like people like.
Because when I wake up, like if I have a good sleep, I wake up refreshed, and like I think back in the previous day, and I kind of feel like I was a dick sometimes. You know, I have that kind of moment of self-reflection that
that's why
sleep gives you.
I talked about this with Vuitton in my previous podcast, but you need to, sometimes if you want to say something, don't rely on the first thing you think of, because you might just be having a bad day and you don't even know it. Give yourself a day or 2, ponder on it, write down.
Don't be impulsive.
Yeah, exactly. Write some stuff down. I actually made this mistake the other day with Paul. I'm going to say it on the podcast. I don't give a shit. So, I was like going on my Andrew Tate type rants. Shout out Paul Sleeman. Shout out all the St. Pickle boys, bro. I want to make this evidently clear. All the St. Pickle boys, we're all going to be driving fucking Lambos in a straight line one day, but that doesn't matter. So, it's actually about the St. Pickle boys. So my friend was like, do you want to go to Toronto with them? And I don't. Like, I don't. Simply because I have things I want to do, and I don't, like, not that I don't like them, I just don't have the time to go to Toronto.
Yeah, it's hard to cancel plans and pick up and just randomly do something.
Yeah. I have shit I have to get done. I don't have the time to go to Toronto for 2 days right now. So I'm like, no, they're a part of my past. Like, I was on my Andrew Tate type rant. It was just one of those days where I was feeling fucking arrogant. I was feeling arrogant, like they're a part of my past. I'm only about rich people now, you know? And then I woke up the next day and I'm like, dude, why the fuck did I say that?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like shit. So I had to apologize and shit. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm fucked. So what I should have done was like, okay.
Calculate your thoughts a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, I said that. I'm going to give myself a day before I answer Paul. Because you know what I did? Like, I said it to Luke, and his dumbass sent a screenshot to Paul. And he's like, hey, look what Richard said or whatever. And then obviously, because I wouldn't have told Paul that, like, in person, like, right. To him. And then Luke, and then Paul's like, oh, I can't believe you said that, whatever, like, that's kind of fucked up. And then I'm like, this is what I said. I'm like, you should be looking at yourself and realizing, why did I say that? Not like, don't blame me for saying it, blame yourself. Yeah. And like, I somewhat still believe that, but like I shouldn't have said that. That was a horrible way to approach it, and I should have slept on it for a day. But I took way too long with that story. Point is,
I like that.
You gotta sleep on things.
Yeah.
Give yourself some, because dude, you're the way you're moved today, your way of thinking is like actually vastly different to how it was yesterday. Every day it differentiates, right?
Right.
There's only some variables that remain consistent, but usually your thought process around things changes day to day, and like in a massive way. It's actually unbelievable.
Like everything, like your brain's like an input-output machine.
It's fucked.
It's
fucking insane.
Occurrence or every interaction you have the previous day goes into your brain. Your brain inputs it and makes its interpretation of it and outputs it, and that output changes kind of how you act.
Yeah, and that's why. And that's why I believe in journaling. Like I think everyone should journal, because you like
self-reflective.
Yeah. So how do you like you said, it's input output. Things are input. How do you output it? No one ever outputs their thoughts.
Right. Not tangibly anyway.
No. There's no one outputs their thoughts in a physical manner. They might speak it. They might speak like 5% of their thoughts to people. And then the other 95% they just forget about in like 10 seconds. But if you start writing stuff down, it's there. It's 3D, and you can come back to it one day and be like, holy shit. Like that was my thought process at the time. I wish I was journaling 2 years ago. I could look back and at the time where I wanted to be an accountant and I wanted to go to university and all this shit. And I'm a completely different person now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's part of growth. It's part of
It's a weird thing too, because like when I was younger, I would never think I would become the person that I am now.
Exactly,
and like,
right?
And like I'm sure right now if I tried to theorize about who I'd be in the future, I would have ideas of a type person that I could never be.
Yeah.
But I'm just as likely to become the person that I think I'm going to be as I am the person who I think I can never be.
And your desires and goals will change over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It comes back down to the input-output machine.
Exactly.
Analogy.
Yeah.
Like stuff happens, shit happens in your life, completely changes who you are,
exactly,
how you think, and whatnot.
And that's what I like I said, your desires and goals change over time, right? So like when I right now, and I still want to get on this topic. I keep talking about it, but I want to get on it. I want to be a fucking billionaire, but like, who's to say I don't develop your mindset in 5 years?
Who's to say I don't develop yours?
Exactly, right?
We don't know.
So like, why do you have that mindset? Because I want to get on it. So for the viewers, your mindset is like money's bullshit, and my mindset is like go for money. Money's power. Like fuck, you want to get like everyone should try and get rich, because like if you want to live the good life. I think that, like, objectively speaking, you can say subjectively, but I really think objectively, everyone wants to fucking travel the world and, like, live exotically and drive exotic
cars. At one point or another in their life, they do. That's an objective fact, I think, right?
Okay.
At one point or another, someone always wants. You always theorize about. Like, I want to go to the pyramids of Egypt.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not even like money buys happiness. But you can either pick rich or poor. What are you picking?
Obviously rich.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can either have a lot of money or you can be like average.
Money does provide you with a sense of like ease on your mindset, because you don't have to worry as much. And if you don't worry as much, then you're just a naturally happier person, right?
Exactly.
There's no.
So you think past that is kind of useless?
I think so. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, money is a necessity.
It is, yeah.
Like, you have to have money.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, if the pandemic has taught people anything.
So do you think it's kind of like food? Like, you can eat a lot of food, but after a certain amount of point? Or, like, you can eat how much food you need, and then after that, it's kind of like, okay, you're kind of just, like, fucking...
There's like a base level of needs. Okay. And then there's, like, needs after that. I mean, base level needs, obviously, are food, water.
Yeah.
A comfy bed, a nice house. It doesn't have to be like extravagant, but it needs to do the job, right? You want to. Ideally, you live where you want to live. You want to live in town. You have a nice house in town.
Mm-hmm.
You want to live in the country. Whatever.
Yeah,
you buy a nice
whatever,
house in the country.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fits your personal desires.
And then there's like playing sports, or I don't know, going out to like, fancy restaurants and trying different types of food.
Like, this is the thing. You're going with the average life. I try to tell people, fuck the average life, and aim for like, not just like what you're saying is like the average person who has kids and lets their kids go to school and high school and all that shit. But it's like,
That's not actually how I think about it. That's just like an example I was giving of how most people kind of
that's probably a good example to
theorize about it, right?
So keep going.
I didn't have much more to go, but then there's like the next level would be like buying expensive jewelry. You have sandals.
Well, dude,
so now I'm gonna buy
a lot of people buy that shit, but they do it on credit, and they constantly maintain a good credit for their entire lives. Like, this is the typical middle class person. They constantly have a good credit, but that credit is what funds their extravagant lifestyle that makes them look like they have a lot more money than they actually do. So they probably have a 30-year mortgage on a fucking insane house like that, and their mortgage payment is like 50% of their income, right? And they're just fucking like working their asses off just to have a nice house. They probably leased a fucking nice Ram 1500 2022, you know what I mean? Just to make themselves look more rich than they actually are. It's actually a lot more common than you think, especially in cities. Because you go to a city and you look at these neighborhoods and it's like, holy shit, everyone here is rich. Obviously, that's not possible.
Yeah.
People have to be poor. And it's like, okay, maybe they're just house poor. House poor is a pretty common thing. But my psychology on money is like, okay, first of all, I'm like a numbers guy. I've told you this before. And like, I have like a desire. Like, when I see the numbers go up, it like does something to me. It's like, fuck yeah. It's so weird. It's so weird. But like,
it's warmed up.
Yeah, and it's not even like, oh, now I know I have more money and I could buy this. I just like seeing the numbers go up. I like making money, and I don't know why. It's like a weird fucking obsession I have.
Yeah.
And everyone has it, but it's different with me. It's like, because people get a thrill from gambling because they know it's possible they can win this $10,000 jackpot or whatnot. But I don't really see a thrill in gambling. If I went to the casino, I would go and play like Texas Hold'em or blackjack and strategically try and win like $100 and leave. I think you would do the same thing.
Yeah, never actually been, but
like, okay, so if you go, like, some people will literally sit down on a slot machine and wait for the jackpot.
Yeah.
And they'll shit their fucking pants because they think if they go to the washroom, someone else is going to use the machine to get the jackpot.
Yeah. That idea to me is just absurd. That people.
But that happens. People are that fucking addicted, dude. It's fucking unbelievable.
Like, that is actually next level.
Yeah, exactly.
To like premeditate, bringing diapers.
I
to
know.
A casino.
I know.
Wearing them and actually be willing to shit yourself
in public.
In public.
Just and the reality is their gambling addiction is so intense that they don't even care how embarrassing it is.
No. Yeah.
It's like my addiction is more intense. It's actually that's another addiction. There's an age limit on it for a reason. All addictions, you get that dopamine, you get that thrill, right? But there's an age limit for a reason because you can't just have any fucking.
And now we can do it on our phones.
Yeah, I know, but there's still an age limit on it.
That's true.
18 years old, right? You have to be a certain age to do it. But it's also kind of fucked how you can do it on your phone.
The convenience of being able to do it on your phone is...
Especially with sports. Yeah. It's not like you have to play blackjack or like slots. No, you can fucking bet on like who's winning the hockey game tonight.
You can think have extreme knowledge of a game and then bet $1,000 on it.
And you don't even have to do like, oh, I'm betting on one game. The parlays,
yeah.
And what they do is they increase your confidence because like oh, I'm betting.
The stakes go up, you can make more money.
Yeah, and you only have to bet like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm betting $1, not a big fucking deal. Oh, I can win 2,000, but dude, that shit adds up.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're not winning. First of all, don't sit here and tell me you're winning that shit because you're not. And then it adds up. Like, okay, you lost this one, you lost this one, you lost. Before you know it, you've lost 100 of them. That's $200 down the drain. The reason I said blackjack and Texas Hold'em is what I do is because if you're not doing those two, house always wins. So like Bet365 or the casino is always making money. That's why they do what they do. They're making money at the end of it. The odds are never in your favor.
Yeah.
The reason it isn't Texas Hold'em is because the way that
skill game.
Yeah. You're playing to an extent. But you're not playing against the dealer, you're playing against other players. Yeah. The casino makes money off Texas Hold'em off like a fee. Like you pay a fee to
join the game.
Yeah. But like other than that, it's you against other players. So it's not rigged in any way for it to be like in the casino's favor. Blackjack on the other hand, like you can just like learn strategies, learn how to count cards, even though it'll get banned. Like who gives a shit?
Can't tell. Right.
Yeah, you gotta find ways around it. Even like if you're really good at counting cards, you could be like, okay, I'm gonna act like I'm not counting for the next fucking 5 hands, so they, you know what I mean? So they don't notice. Like I'm gonna know. Even though I know what I'm gonna do is gonna make me lose money. The casino won't notice.
Right. If you're smart enough to count cards, you're probably smart enough and experienced enough at the game
to fake it. Like I can fake it for the next 10 hands. And right, like, and I don't think counting cards should be fucking banned either. Because first of all, it requires a lot of skill. It requires a lot of focus.
If it wasn't banned, like, would more people do it? I don't think so. Like, if you're
more
gonna count
people,
cards, you're gonna count cards.
The reason people don't count cards is because it's fucking hard and it requires a lot of work. Not because it's banned. Shut the fuck up. No one cares that it's banned, okay? Dude, I tried to get into it and like
it's not like you're counting cards.
It's still on
in front of you.
No. It's still on my bucket list and something I want to learn and get good at. But dude, the shit takes time. Yeah, like it takes a lot of fucking practice. Do you know anything about it?
Only vaguely, like.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. You need to have high focus and you know like.
You gotta be focusing on the previous cards, the current cards.
Yeah.
And your game.
Yeah, and exactly that was the hardest part. So I'm like, okay, I'm counting, and I'm keeping my count, and then I'm like, not even thinking about like
what you're doing. Actually,
I have an 18 and my dealer has a 10. What do I do? Like I'm not even thinking.
And then you have to think about like the implications of the previous cards that have passed, and now the cards that are on the table. Like how do those previous cards that have passed affect what's now on the table?
Exactly.
Like, it's a big brain.
Well, that's kind of what counting is. It's like the fact that you're counting, like you have a count in your head, and that gives you like a rough idea of what the past cards have been and what you can expect to come.
Trying to eliminate the chance.
Yeah. The reason I don't think it should be banned though is because like we just, and it also requires a lot of fucking like agility, like mental agility, like how fast can you make that calculation?
You're bouncing around different.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Players.
But the reason I don't think it should be like banned is because like. It requires a lot of skill and like it's not like you're cheating. It's really not cheating. It's just like a strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy.
Yeah. So I don't know why the fuck it's banned, but
casinos ban it because
you're greedy, dude.
They're greedy, yeah.
And you know what? They still get all the customers in the world, so whatever.
Yeah. They're not losing anyone over.
I was thinking of going to the casino tonight actually, and I'm like, nah. I do want to go though.
Have you ever been?
No, I have not. But I hear so much about it at work that I could tell you, like, I could tell you how the psychology of these gamblers are, and it's so sad, dude. Like they'll go, and the thing, what casinos do is they will give you money, because how are they ever gonna get you hooked if they never give you money? Kind of like Fight Club,
right?
They get you hooked by making you win a fight. The casinos do the same thing.
Exactly,
So you go and you win fucking $6,000 and you're like, holy shit. Exactly. So, and some of these people that I work with, they'll win $6,000 and they'll lose it the same fucking night. Because they're like, oh, I just won $6,000. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna bet like 100 of this, then go home. And then they'll bet and then they're down to 5,500 and they're like, oh, I'll just make the next 500 and go home. And then they just lose it all.
Don't you think making people wait until they're 19 is like genius? Because as you grow up, maybe not below like, I don't know, 16, but once you turn like to an age where you start thinking about doing that type of thing when you're older, it just like your excitement for it progressively builds up.
How often, when we used to play Texas Hold'em, how often would we talk about it?
Yeah, all the time. Like, we couldn't wait to go.
Exactly. And you're 100% right, because it builds up.
And now, when everyone turns 19, they are almost guaranteed to go. Whereas
you know why?
if you have
That's
no age limit on it, maybe they're not guaranteed to go.
They don't
because
care.
It's always an option.
Because when something is like against the rules, it feels better.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I know what you mean. Like, even like when I used to vape, sometimes I would vape in the washroom. Like at school, just because like it was cool to do something, like not that it was like objectively cool, but like I felt like
it was against the rules, you know.
I felt like
a little rush.
Exactly.
Not only from the nicotine, but from the possibility of being caught.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it was just like so easy not to be caught. Like you go in the stall alone, no one's gonna open a stall.
Yeah.
Like like if you're a teacher and you're opening a stall. You have something
against... The kid vaping is not the biggest concern.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So it's like, oh, fuck, dude, I can do this and get away with it 100% of the time. The times you don't get away with it is when, like, You go to the washroom and there's like 3 other kids vaping and you're like, okay, we can't all go in the stall. Let's just step out for a sec.
Yeah.
Teacher walks in. Someone's blowing O's and then a teacher walks in. It's like, fuck.
I forget who told me, but it was a long time ago. And he told me that he used to smoke weed when it was illegal. But the second it became legal, he just didn't have the desire to do it anymore because it was legal and he didn't feel like he was
doesn't get that. He doesn't get that rush anymore.
And until this moment, I never actually appreciated that point of view.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and that's the thing. Like you break the rules, and you get the rush. That's and then another thing me and my coworker were talking about when we were talking about this whole school shooting thing and like what goes on in their head is like people that enjoy watching like gory shit on the dark web. Like there's like a whole fucking like audience of people that like that. Like go on the dark web and watch like someone getting fucking tortured and like enjoy it.
It's a thing?
Yes! It's kind of fucked up, isn't it?
Man.
Yeah, dude. Like Saw movies. Like there's an audience for that. You know what Saw movies are?
Yeah.
Why is there an audience for that? Like, what the fuck, dude? I've watched one scene of that. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you, dude. I don't know why those movies are made. I don't know how they have an audience. And I think that kind of like correlates to the whole rule breaking thing. I don't know why I feel like these murderers, that's part of their like desire to kill people.
It gives them a rush.
Yeah, it's
just as a Saw movie.
Yeah,
gives
exactly.
Some people a rush, right?
Some people kill for no reason.
Yeah,
like serial killers. Some of them will literally just kill. It's fucked, dude. And then it's like, why, right?
I think it was. I was watching Mindhunter, which is like it's based on a true story. It's kind of got like some true aspects to it. They study serial killers in it. I think it was Edward Kemper. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter who it was. He said that killing felt like a vocation to him, which is a job. Like he said that going out and killing people, it felt like his job. Like he felt like he was required to go out and kill people. Which is like...
Why?
So fucked up.
Why though?
He had like a very, very scarred childhood.
Oh, okay.
Which like you can't...
most serial killers do. Yeah. But anyways, keep going.
They say like the criminals of a society are a reflection of what's wrong with the society.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the school shooting. Like,
exactly.
What's wrong? Is it the kid? I hate when people blame it on the gun laws. It's like, no, dude. No, it's not the gun that's killing them. It's the person pulling the trigger. And what is causing that person to pull the trigger? You need to attack the root of the problem. Listen, bro. I'm not trying to get political, okay? I'm not trying to be like, oh, all guns are okay. I think that there's certain gun laws that are good. Like, there's no reason you should have an AK-47 in your basement.
No.
Your handgun is all you need.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if a fucking insane person wants to shoot people, he's not gonna stop because guns are illegal. He's gonna find a way to get a fucking gun, whether it's illegal or not. Yeah. Cause, look, bro, if guns are legal, okay, you're killing a bunch of people. That's illegal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you're breaking the law either fucking way, and that's a lot worse of a crime than holding a fucking gun.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, you're fucked in the head. You're gonna end up buying a gun no matter what.
Yeah, if you're willing to face the repercussions of murder, chances are
you'll buy a fucking gun illegally. You know what I mean? Exactly. One is like a crime that'll give you like 5-10 years, and one will put you in prison for life. Like, that guy's dead. Like, I don't know, how old was he? The guy that fucking killed those people in Texas?
He was our age. He was 18.
That's fucked.
And he killed. It was like grade 4 and grade. It was grade school kids.
So like all these, so I'm not gonna say who told me this, but I've heard like conspiracy theories that like, so like we're getting all this shit in the news, like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck's going on with that. I don't follow the news, but like,
neither do I.
And so have you heard of that Johnny Depp trial though?
I don't know like the specifics of it, but I do know what's going on.
So Johnny Depp,
his wife and
whatever. Okay,
some sort of abuse.
Not a big deal. And then like this Texas thing, like I said, it happens all over the world. Still horribly tragic, and dude, like it's horrible for the families. Like, don't get me wrong, But basically what this person was telling me was like, they're distracting you from all this. And if you look at some third world countries right now, they are fucking starving. And nobody's talking about it. Because you look at Canada, right? Cost of living went up. And minimum wage is $15 an hour, right? If you're making minimum wage and you live alone, you're starving. Because of how much inflation has affected prices and shit. And you can barely afford rent right now. You know what I mean? If you live in Toronto...
But you are starving in better circumstances.
That's my point. That's my point, right? So like, imagine you were in a third world country. Because they're going through the same inflation, if not worse. Like, dude, I'm hearing, like, people in Egypt are fucking living off potatoes and lentils right now. Because that's all they can fucking afford.
What people in our country did, like, 200 years ago.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
Or more.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
It all comes down to where you live.
But what the person built upon was that, like, it's coming to us. They just don't want you to know. They want us to get even poorer, and they want the rich to get even richer. And like you said, money. So one of my core beliefs about money is that what goes around comes around, and like, I'm a firm believer if I had a lot of money, I'd help people make more money too. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, I have 10 billion and I'm only worried about getting 100 billion. I'd be like, okay, how do I help this person get 10 billion? How do I help this person get 10 billion? And then at the end of the day, it ends up just benefiting me at the end of the day.
Benefits society, which benefits
and myself. And myself.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like a reverse psychology in a way. And I'm a firm believer in karma too. I really believe in karma. Whether it's the afterlife or it happens like indirectly, I believe in karma.
I have trouble believing in karma, but
why?
Just because I've known some bad people in my life, I know like it's hard to judge whether someone's a bad person or not truly.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
But like nothing bad happens to them. But maybe again, like you said, maybe it doesn't affect them now. Maybe it affects them 20 years down the road.
Exactly. So indirectly.
It's impossible. Karma's a hard thing to judge because it's impossible to know when that bad thing may happen or when that good thing may happen.
It could happen in the afterlife too, right? Like, who knows what happens in the afterlife? You and I know we have our reasons to question that shit, but like, it is a fucked, like our brain is so fucking complex. I can't even get my head around it. It's so hard to understand. I met this guy yesterday, and like he was reading Marcus Aurelius, and I'm like, so are you a Stoic? He's like, no, I'm an agnostic. I'm like, what the fuck? I wish I asked him, like, build upon it more. But like, I totally understand the whole agnostic approach. Like, yo, motherfucker, we don't know shit.
Yeah.
We don't know shit, so just like accept it. But I wish like we kind of just like strayed away from religion. I talked about this in my previous podcast actually, and I could see why Rogan gets so repetitive. Like, I always have this shit on my mind.
The thing with religion though is like, it kind of does all the work for you as a human. I'm not like disrespecting anyone who is religious, but like if you think about it, say you are transported onto this planet with like a fully capable mind. You don't have your progressive growth of being a baby, right?
Okay.
Say you transport on the planet and you're 20 years old.
Okay.
And you have the brain of a 20-year-old man or woman. You're given the options of having a religion which has a set of values, a set of beliefs. It tells you how to live, what to do in given situations. Or you have, to generalize it, say agnostic, which is almost like the belief in nothing, right?
Yeah.
You don't believe, not that you believe in nothing.
No, not nothing, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You believe in the unknown.
Okay, yeah.
So there is definitely an appeal to be religious because it kind of takes the guessing away from you. Right? It gives you a sense of comfort.
Humans need to, humans like not subconsciously, but like through like evolution and naturally we want to believe in something.
Yeah.
Always.
Exactly.
That's what people always like.
It makes you feel like you're part of a group as well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Gives you that sense of camaraderie.
Like, I want to go back to that whole fucking analogy you just gave, a 20-year-old, right? You and I are born, and we're like, a religion is chosen for us before we even know how to speak a fucking word.
Exactly. Yeah, which is totally absurd.
Yeah, like, you're this religion. we're gonna ignore all your philosophies, all your values. You are Christian, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, dude, why don't you let the person like grow up, determine their own values, let them. It doesn't even have to be like a set religion, like Islam, Jew. Like they just believe whatever the fuck they want to believe.
It does teach a kid good values, though.
Yeah, but you can teach that in a fucking classroom.
You can teach that in different ways, right?
Yeah, you don't have to
incorporate.
You are this religion.
Yeah.
And I think religion just causes a lot of conflict, dude.
Yeah, putting that label on it, it does create
exactly.
a sense of superiority.
Yeah, like I'm Islam. Like a lot of these fucking Taliban leaders and these guys that just run around with AKs slaughtering kids and shit, they just want the whole world to be Islam. And that's like their goal. And the whole Middle East Islam. And it's like, bro, relax.
Yeah.
Like it's not that deep, man. But like some of them are genuinely that religious. Whatever, dude. So that's just the way I look at it. It's like what do you value more? You know what I mean?
But like when I think about Jesus, like whether he exists or not, to me it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like though I look at him and I think of like
I think Jesus definitely existed.
I think of his teachings and like there is so much great wisdom and great values in his teachings. Like any person
I can tell you he definitely existed.
He probably did. There were definitely
too many writings. Like whether everything the Catholic or whatever faith says about him is true, he was definitely a person because he just had so much influence and like so many writings about him. He was definitely a person.
He's probably just like a really wise dude that was really caring.
Now whether he was whether he was a prophet, like that's where I get like fucking like iffy, like a son of God. Like that's a big fucking title, dude.
It is.
Yeah,
and it's the thing is like it's unproven and it can't be proved.
Exactly.
So like that works. That does work both ways.
Yeah.
Like it can both support that he existed and what they say how he existed. Like they say he was a god, right? So that can prove that he was a god, and it can also disprove that he was a god because there's no proof to support. Either one.
Exactly, and like they say he's like God in human form, and it's like I hate that. It's like
it's kind of demeaning to everyone else.
Yeah, dude, no, not even to everyone else, to God. Like I wish like my view on God is like this guy is so beyond human form and like beyond the third dimension and beyond anything we can understand that like saying it's God in human form is like okay. It's like it irks me. I don't know. It's just the way I view God, though. Everyone has a different view on God. Like, everyone, right? Some people still think he's a fucking man in the sky, and I'm like, are you insane, dude? Like, look around you. Does it look like a man in the sky did this? You know what I mean? And some people don't believe in him at all. Atheists, right?
Right. Well, atheists, like, I think I'm not, like, 100% sure, but I think they, like, actively, like, push against God. Like, anyone who says they believe in it, they frown upon them. Like it's not like agnostic, which doesn't believe. Atheist is like actively opposes.
And religion and politics are like simultaneously connected. Usually liberals or like the left are like more atheist like. They don't really care about abortion because they don't really value God. They don't care about like gay people, right? Because the Bible says like we throw stones at gay people and shit. Whatever, like I don't care either. Like I'm just saying, like liberals or like the left stray more away from God when the right strays more closer to God, and it's like that's why I try to tell people. Obviously, we're on a podcast now, so I don't care. But like when you're talking to someone one-on-one, just avoid religion and politics.
Yeah,
just don't.
You don't know how they're gonna react.
Yeah, you might be like, oh, this person's pretty. Like we have a lot of things in common. I'm gonna talk about how much I hate unvaccinated people. Next thing you know, he's unvaccinated, right? Like that's not what you want to do. That's horrible.
I mean, some people would like greet that with open arms, right? Some people just love having a discussion like that. But
but that's rare.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just like
get
fucking and there's a big difference between a discussion with opposing views and an argument.
Yeah.
An argument, and I hate arguments. You know why? Because in the rare occasion that you win an argument, it doesn't even feel good.
No, because there's so much bad blood.
Yeah, it's like fuck. Now this person doesn't like me.
And, and like I think, like probably 99% of arguments, both people and the argument still believing.
Yeah, that's why I said the rare occasion. Yeah.
Exactly what they believed.
They believe it even more.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I just implement it.
Yeah, it fires them up.
And sometimes they believe that they like kind of changed their opponent's mind when they kind of didn't. But you told me, like, people love watching it, though. Like, arguments.
Oh, yeah.
Like, presidential debates, podcasts.
Because they'll take, like, a side of the argument,
exactly.
Right?
And, dude, listen, I did this during the coronavirus pandemic. And, like, anything someone said that was, like, on my side of the political view, I agreed with. I'm like, this person's smart, this person this person that. But if, like, a doctor who has a PhD at Harvard said something I disagreed with, I'd say he's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's just that bias. And it's that if someone, you want to believe, humans tend to believe what they want to happen.
Right.
And they don't care about facts or logic. All they care about is emotions.
And pride.
Yeah, exactly. So if random fucking Joe Schmo on the street says, yeah, man, the Illuminati's real, New World Order, this, that, whatever, but like fucking Albert Einstein comes back from the dead and opposes everything, you're still going to take Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to believe.
Right.
That's how people work, man. And a lot of people are master manipulators too. Like, they can say things with so much confidence.
Really get people to believe them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just make it seem like you know what you're fucking talking about. You don't have to actually know what you're talking about.
Like, that's literally half of it. If not more.
Exactly. Dude, that's how people sell shit.
Yeah, we've talked about this before with Adolf Hitler. Like,
exactly.
Like
and that's another thing with Jesus Christ. What if he was just a master manipulator?
Yeah. Like, what Adolf Hitler praised and tried to get people to believe in was completely ridiculous, right?
Yeah, same with Putin.
Same with
Stalin,
so many
dictators,
almost dictators, right?
Kim Jong-un, all of them, bro. They're just good at like manipulating you to believe certain things.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What?
Is if I was a German man in the 1940s, would I have been a Nazi?
Probably would have.
Probably would have.
Yeah.
I read a book called The Book Thief. It's based on a true story, but it is fiction, and it's like it takes place in Nazi Germany, and the main character's father eventually joins. He's very opposed of the Nazi Party, right? Because why wouldn't you? If you're rational, why wouldn't you be? And he's always opposed to it. And then eventually there comes like a turning point in the book where Germany is kind of starting to fall in the war, and they essentially, all their civilians who aren't currently enlisted into as a Nazi, they make it impossible for them to live without becoming a Nazi. So
because they need more men.
Yeah,
and shit,
there's no business, so like they'll shut down their businesses.
Yeah.
Make it so there's no way for them to make money. If you don't have money, you can't feed your family. You die.
Yeah.
So they enlist as a Nazi, even though they are completely opposed to it.
Really? Wow.
They want to survive, so they become a Nazi.
Wow.
And it's the only
so yeah,
way.
and even then, you would, even if you didn't fall for Hitler's fucking tricks and shenanigans. Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, but like even like another question I could give you is like, if you were an American in the 19th century, would you have owned slaves?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right? You know what I mean? Before Abraham Lincoln, before the whole Civil War, would you have owned slaves? And that's a good question, right? Because like
monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly. You don't see anything wrong with it. Because and another thing is the education system doesn't teach you how to think critically, so people can't think beyond what they're told. Yeah. They can't think beyond like what they're told. What they're told, they just go with it. Like, yep, this is cool.
Yeah, it's all black and white.
Yeah, right. Whatever. And that's like that kind of ties in with the whole school shooting thing. I don't blame people that own slaves for owning slaves. I blame society for making it seem cool to own slaves. Right.
Yeah, it's not
or be racist. Yeah.
It is their fault to
It is, but it's more society's
fault. The main blame lies with the government
and that's the same thing with the school shooter.
Yeah.
It's not directly his. It is directly his fault, but it's not like there's.
You can't just place the blame on him. Like that's
100%.
That's too shallow.
100%, dude.
It's way deeper than that.
It's not like that guy was born 18 years ago and he was destined to be a killer, and there was
he
nothing.
He didn't come out of his mom's womb and it was like, hey, I'm gonna shoot a school in 18 years.
He was programmed.
Yeah.
This is like a computer too. Our brains, like it's.
It could be one. Could be a highly advanced computer system. We have no idea.
No, that was like a fucking opening for me. Like, holy shit, I never thought of it like that. Because I always think like, what if we live in a simulation? And then like another day I'll think like, oh, our brains are programmed every day. Like we program it. You can either what is programming your brain? Is it sports? Is it friends that drink and smoke? Is it Instagram? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the books you're reading? Is it like we consume shit left and right? Our brains are consuming shit. Right now, I'm consuming talking to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because your brain's always working, so it's programming itself. Like for example, when I used to hang out with like regular people, I guess that's like the best way I can say it. My vocabulary sucked because I was just programming. My brain was programmed to have the same vocabulary as them.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
If you don't like introduce new people into the group too, you're just gonna, it's just rinse and repeat, right? You use the same words.
Exactly, and then I was like using low IQ words, and it's like, okay, that's how my brain is programmed. But as soon as you start changing that programming, it's like, okay, now my vocabulary is extremely rich. If you start watching people that have rich vocabulary and you stop listening to rap music, I think rap music has a huge harmful impact too. That could be another thing too.
I was having like an internal discussion. That sounds cheesy, but I was having an internal discussion the other day.
With yourself?
With myself.
Yeah, okay.
And I was trying to figure out, this sounds so stupid saying this aloud, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was trying to figure out whether music was a reflection of society or society was a reflection of music.
Elaborate on that.
So, does the music form how the people believe and how people behave? Or like influence how people behave or how people behave and what they do?
Okay.
Or does what people do and what makes people click affect music? Because music, I think, is like a very underestimated thing. How
I know you've told me this too before.
How that forms your ideals in your brain.
It does, yeah, it does.
Because 10 years ago, nobody would have dared to say the N-word.
No.
And now, anyone and their dog will say it in a casual conversation, maybe even in front of a teacher.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of messed up, eh?
And I don't know if there's other reasons for it, but the only reason I can think for that is music, right?
Plays a big role. It definitely does. It definitely does. And it's like, it also like, it's not just that. It's like popularized drug use, popularized like,
sex,
like,
and
the gang life.
And,
yeah.
And if you like look at music from, I don't know, like the 60s to the 90s, it's like it's so much more upbeat, you know.
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
It's so much happier. It's like Elton John, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. There was no really like depressing music.
No, it's upbeat. Maybe it has like
it
a lot of those
slow.
Yeah, a lot of those songs sometimes the content they're discussing is actually like really depressing.
Yeah,
but they do
exactly.
They do it in
like
a
they could
manner
have it like Marvin Gaye, right?
I don't know who that is.
He was an R&B singer. Like he had like the slow type beat, but the content, like you said, the words he would sing and like rap or whatever, wasn't like saddening, right? It wasn't like, oh, my girlfriend just broke up with me and now I want to kill myself and all this shit, right? It's like, what is the content? I know, so I see where you're coming from.
And like,
but
if you look, sorry, one more thing just to conclude that point. If you like look at people that lived back then, like they're so much more friendly.
I think that is more social media than it is music.
Maybe.
But music definitely plays a role too. Well, like they're simultaneous. Now, music and social media are pretty close.
Yeah.
Because the songs that are popular are kind of on TikTok now. They're not on the radio anymore.
Right, that's true. Radio doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? Everyone uses an aux cord.
Yeah.
If a song's famous, it's famous on TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is insane. I kind of just realized that right now. But so people, I think why they're so mean is because they just live in the digital world now, and like I think digital overload is horrible for the brain. I wish I could preach that more. Like it's so bad. Like I felt like I was in a deep depression, and I wasn't. Like I was in the same kind of position I am right now. Only difference is I was on my phone for 10 hours a fucking day.
Like the only way I can describe it is it makes your brain feel like saturated.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
It makes you feel so cloudy, and like you do something for a long period of time, and you try to think back of what you just did, and like, you can't recall any significant thing.
No.
It's just like it just kind of just pauses life for
and
it's time that you're on
and
it.
And you're just like, your brain, because your brain does crave distraction.
Right.
Like, it has a hard time just sitting there and being still. So when you constantly have one right there, it's always there for you. Some people, they'll, like, you're having a conversation with them and they'll fucking pull it out, and it's like, dude, I'm fucking talking to you. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, it's that.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, like, it is, but, like, I'm not even, like, directly blaming them. It's like, wow, you are that addicted.
Yeah.
It is fucked. And it's so normal now to do that. It's actually just normal to, like, while you're having a conversation with someone, pull it out. So it's not even disrespectful anymore. It's like a sign that you're a boring talker.
And maybe they actually are interested in the conversation. Like, I'm sure, like, a lot of times
the muscle memory.
Like the muscle memory. That just the force of habit to pull that out.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I could see that being a possibility too.
Like, the second there's even a momentary lull, it's just like, oh no, stimulation.
I know.
You know?
I know, 100%. And that's why I'm having trouble thinking of guests I can find for this podcast. It's like, okay, this guy, I can't see myself having a conversation with him more than 5 fucking minutes, because I never have. But, like, also on this podcast, I don't really have a desire to talk about, like, what Tom Brady's fucking doing right now and, like, all this shit. Like, I want to talk about philosophy, psychology, money, like, what's going on in the world right now.
Speaking of philosophy, in one of my philosophy classes that I'm taking, we had to do. You
started that already?
Yeah, I'm doing some in the summer.
Oh, okay.
That way I can kind of get some
catch
credits,
up.
graduate in 3 years, and we had to read this paper about how social media is maybe not directly influencing, but, like, there's a very, very strong correlation with social media increasing the rates of ADD. Because
couldn't agree more.
Because like, if you look at it from, like, a neurological level, like TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff, it gives you dopamine.
Exactly.
It's such a short-term gratification. Like, you flip it up and you have the answer. You have that TikTok done in 10 seconds. It's just the reward. It's just so addicting to anyone.
Did you say that's a theory?
It's not even a theory.
I think it's a fact.
It's like a reputable peer-reviewed journal.
Because like, people can't focus anymore. They just can't, because
of the short-term gratification.
And that's really like you said, the neurological science behind ADD is like, okay, like, I don't care if you have a monk's brain. Like, if you have a monk's brain, your brain craves dopamine. It's like your survival chemical. Like, you get it when you eat food and sleep. So, like, dopamine is there. You're craving it. But that is like, if you're doing a task, like an assignment or something, and your brain doesn't feel like it's getting enough dopamine, that's when it gets the distraction and it craves it. And the more dopamine you consume, the more dopamine deprived you'll feel when you're trying to do an assignment. Does that make sense?
Because it's more of a longer term gratification activity, right?
Yeah, it's like, fuck, I need some dopamine because I'm so used to having it all the time.
Yeah. So you don't get that dopamine doing an assignment.
No, not
until
at all.
You finish it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it takes 3 hours to finish it.
But you're so used to having it, like, all the time. That's kind of what ADD
10
is.
seconds, right?
A lot of guys that have ADD can't work out because it's like, fuck, I'm not getting any dopamine right now.
It kind of destroys your patience.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like putting it in simple terms, but like, it kind of does.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't focus on this. I gotta go do something else. I gotta go fucking jerk off. I gotta go Snapchat someone. They can't focus on a workout. And like, to add on to your point of, like, it's more prevalent now, and like social media's made it worse. Dude, I literally see, when I go to the gym, I see 15, 16-year-olds do a set, and then they'll be on their phone for 4 or 5 minutes before they do their next set. And, like, not only is that horrible for your brain,
defeats the purpose of being in the gym.
It's fucking up your gains, dude. Yeah. Like, bro, like, people don't understand how much better your gains will be if you take short rests between your sets. Yeah. And like your muscles are tired, go again.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Your gains will be way better. If you're taking a 4-minute rest, your muscles get enough rest, it feels fresh, and you get the next set.
You might just go for a walk.
Exactly, dude.
Be on your phone while you're on your walk.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's horrible for the brain. And I just gave you a reason why it's horrible for the body too.
And like, not to mention, another reason it's horrible for the body is now, because of this phenomenon, basically anyone can get subscription medicine for being ADD, right?
That's fucked, eh?
Which, if you like...
I think that has to do with corruption in the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because they're like, oh,
I mean, that's like a major tin hat topic.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
I know.
It is like doctors make money giving you drugs.
I know.
So if someone comes to you, and says, put yourself in the shoes of a doctor, and you have this mother with their 14-year-old daughter or 14-year-old son.
It's mainly men, eh?
Yeah.
It's like 2% girls,
oh, really?
98. Yeah. Do you know a girl that has ADHD? I don't.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, say they come in and the mom's like, my daughter has trouble focusing, or my son has trouble focusing. What's a doctor gonna do? Is he gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna make you try to read this book?
He's
not gonna oppose them.
And even if
there's no way to actually test.
And most doctors, I don't think most doctors even believe. Maybe they do, like in natural medicine and like doing it yourself the hard way. But like this is what they were trained to do. This is what they get paid to do. So they're gonna fucking do it. And yeah, here's some Adderall.
Yeah.
Here's some meth. That's what Adderall is.
Yeah. If you're watching this, look up organic chemistry. Look up the organic chemistry of Adderall versus meth.
It's the same, yeah.
You'll be shocked.
It's very similar. Dude, I've done Adderall. It feels fucking good.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you can, like, what Adderall does, like we talked about, people with ADHD are dopamine deprived, right? And like you're doing an assignment, you're not getting any dopamine. It's like, fuck, this sucks. You're just getting dopamine.
Yeah.
When you're on Adderall, it's like.
Kind of like
it's so easy to focus on things because you just enjoy everything you do.
Yeah, kind of like nullifies the need to do anything but what you want to do.
Exactly, because it's like I enjoy everything now.
My brother told me like during exam season, sometimes he'd take them, and like he said he would sit down at his desk, and he would sit there for like 8 hours, not go pee, not drink, not eat, just sit there and work. He was completely dialed.
Yeah, it's insane.
And like
working, like without Adderall sucks. Working with Adderall, dude, I would work at a factory for the rest of my life if it meant I was on Adderall high the entire time. It is fucking fun. It is fun, dude. And then same with working out. It is unbelievable.
Why, Adderall?
Oh my god, it's like the best fucking time of your life. But that's what I'm like. It's horrible for you.
Yeah.
usually when something's that enjoyable and it's a pill, it's probably really bad for you. You know what I mean? And like that's what I try to tell people.
But it's legal and like it's so widely
overly prescribed. Yeah, exactly. But then again, in the defense of the pharmaceutical industry, when I did it, I was doing pretty big doses. Like not what they recommend like the average ADHD kid does a day. I was doing it because like I'm like, fuck it, I want to be wired today. I'm gonna take like 40 milligrams today. You know what I mean? But like if the average ADHD kid is taking like 5-10 milligrams a day, especially if they're young. But still,
the thing is like, say if you're a student and you start taking your ADD meds in, I don't know, grade 11, grade 10, when school starts getting serious, right? And you then now take it your entire duration of high school, when you go to university, so you got to keep taking it, right? Because you've gotten used to taking it. Yeah. So now you've used it for, I say at the end of university, you've used it for 6 years. Okay. And as with anything, your body and your brain develop a tolerance to it. Okay. So you started with 10 milligrams a day in grade 11 or grade 12.
And you're like, this isn't doing anything for me.
Not doing it for you anymore. Now, in grade 12, or not grade 12, your last year of university, you're taking like, I don't know, 40? Mm-hmm. I don't know these specifics, but
a lot of those kids, honestly, like from what I've seen, is like they kind of just get sick of it. Yeah. Like, I'm kind of sick of doing this every day. I'm just going to stop. Because like a lot of people actually don't even enjoy it. Like a lot of people, like most people, from like my experience, either prefer uppers or downers. So they either, like you know the difference. Like alcohol is a downer. So what I've noticed is like people that prefer uppers will prefer Adderall, will prefer like meth type drugs or like coke. But people that prefer downers will prefer like Percocets and alcohol and marijuana and like the ones that like kind of fucking mellow you out and shit like this. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. So like a lot of the people that I know that prefer downers don't even enjoy doing Adderall. Yeah, and like it's not. I don't know. It's not like universally enjoyed. It's more complicated than you think. But meth, whatever the fucking difference is in their chemical makeup, you get addicted to meth. Like it doesn't matter if you prefer fucking downers or uppers or lowers.
It's like if you do meth once, or say 50% chance to do it twice.
I think it's 70.
70, and then if you do it twice, it's
like
99 or something
like that.
Boned,
right? Yeah, it's kind of insane. Yeah, it's fucked because like that shit. Like dopamine, how much goes to your brain is measured on a scale. And if I remember the numbers correctly, like a nicotine head buzz or like a busting a nut or like jerking off is like 50. And then heroin is like 700, which is fucked. But like meth is like 1,500. So like it's like
busting a nut was 50?
Yeah. So it's like
30 times.
For like, but the thing is, how long do you think a meth high lasts?
Doesn't it last like 30 minutes, an hour?
Like a day.
Do they actually?
Yeah. And you don't even grow a tolerance to it because like you do it once, it's like fuck.
And it's so potent, right?
Oh my god, yeah. And like your first like week or two of being addicted to it, you're probably like fucking killing it. Like you're getting your homework done.
Yeah.
Because it's like Adderall, right? Like it helps you focus. But then your fucking skin starts deteriorating, and then you fucking start losing your teeth, and then you look like a fucking druggie, and your brain starts rotting, and then it's like, okay, you're not fucking killing it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But like,
it's so incomprehensible that a drug can do that to you, though. Like that's.
No, it's pretty comprehensible. Well, you've never.
Because I've never like seen that firsthand.
That's what addiction is, man.
Yeah.
They don't care what people think. They're like that addicted. That like the addiction is stronger than their care for what people think. And you know what? You know what's funny? When they're on it, like they'll have fucking like 2 teeth, wearing a wife beater, flabby ass arms, skin deteriorating. But if they're on it, they feel like they're the top of the fucking world.
You know, they don't have a care in the world.
No, they walk into a room and they think they're the fucking king. Like, oh, look at me, bitch. I'm the king, you know what I mean? And that's the confidence it gives them. It's kind of fucking crazy. Oh, and I've heard this from like YouTube videos and whatnot. Like, so I can tell you this firsthand with Adderall. It makes your sex drive like 100x. And it's kind of insane. But like some people say like, when you're a meth addict, you'll watch porn on meth, and it's like it's better than fucking like having sex sober. It just feels that good, and you get so used to it that like your sex drive, even if you quit meth, which is like very rare, but like even if you quit it, you don't even like have a sex drive anymore.
Because it was so high then,
yeah. It's like this feels like fuck all now. Yeah,
and that's like with that's like just life in general, like if just the reward of doing a small task when you're on meth. I can't speak to it, but like I'd assume it'd be like even if you like go take a shit, which is like such an easy task you do all the time, but if you don't do it on meth, it's like
this is fucking nice.
It's like you just fucking built the pyramid of Giza.
Yeah, like fuck yeah, dude. Look how you just took a shit, dude. You know what I mean? 100%, couldn't agree more. But like and heroin is kind of different. Heroin's kind of like, because you can't really do tasks while you're on heroin. You kind of just lay there like this, and you just feel fucking amazing. Either way, what I'm trying to get at is skip the instant gratification, because it's only going to fucking harm you in the long term, right? Like, you fucking, sure, like, directly speaking, if you want to feel good, you should do drugs. But that's, like, horrible for your mental health. It's horrible for you long term. And like I said earlier, that's the difference between successful and unsuccessful people.
In that study that I was reading, that talked about the correlation between social media and AD, they talked about like ways to counteract that without taking prescription medicine, and they suggested activities like chess and reading, go exercising, even like abstaining yourself from your phone for long periods of time.
Distractions.
And like just something that that trains your brain to, crave longer term.
Exactly, 100%. And that's the main difference between successful and unsuccessful people is what are their habits.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can be psychologically rich and financially rich. I think psychologically rich is like 100 times more important. I think you and I can both agree on that. Like how are you psychologically? How's your focus? How is your mental health? When you speak to people, like, are you clear? Like, you have good vocabulary? Like, dude, like, look at a guy like 6ix9ine. He's psychologically poor as shit, but financially he can buy whatever the hell he wants. You know what I mean?
He does got some good imagination though, and creativity.
He does. He's good at making people talk about him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
And like to make music, dude, is a very hard task. Even his music, like I know it's not for everyone.
It's not a skill.
It's not skill, but it's still a very hard task.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Like to write, even just to write lyrics to a song is.
No, yeah, it's fucking.
Like if you
don't have a knack for like language, don't even try.
Yeah. Like if you gave me 24 hours and put me in a room, I doubt that I could write a song.
Oh no, I mean
like with no distractions at all. You gave me
if I could, it would be garbage.
Yeah, it'd be garbage.
It would be so shit. It'd be like, me and my friends, we playing buckets and gloves, fuckets and hubs. It's like, dude, like it would be so garbage. it would be so bad.
I'd probably just write
so due to that reason, I know how hard it is. I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch people freestyle and I'll just be in shock. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Like Juice WRLD or like Lil Baby, and I'm like, god damn, bro.
They're so quick on their feet.
Yeah, like it's like rah, 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 and they're just, it makes sense the entire time. They're rhyming the entire time, and I'm like, round of applause, dude. Like that shit is hard. A lot of them, like, you're a big movie fan, so you definitely know this, but like the writers, like the script they make is like half of the movie. A lot of it's improvised.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing goes with music. Sometimes they'll fucking go with the script and they'll start fucking freestyling. Yeah. Because they're like, fuck it, I can build on this.
Because while they're doing it, idea comes to their head, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like that's like what actors do with improvising. I think being an actor is such a fucking hard job too.
Yeah, it's definitely very underestimated.
Oh my god.
I think a lot of people look at that and think like, I can do that.
No.
But
No.
to like completely change your character.
And you know what really made me realize it was Heath Ledger's Joker. It's like, okay, that is fucking hard.
Yeah. That I didn't really appreciate acting until I watched.
Exactly.
Until I
That's
watched
what I'm
that.
saying. Yeah.
It like,
it's like wow.
It got in your skin.
But like you and I have said this before, like the Joker's probably got to be the hardest role to play, because you're literally playing an insane guy.
It's hard because you're playing an insane guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But not for the reason that you have to be insane, but for the reason to be a compelling Joker, you have to also appear to be sane. You know what I mean? Like what made Heath Ledger's Joker such a good Joker was that
he seemed like he was smart as fuck.
He seemed like he was smart as fuck. And like what he did, like it was evil. Yes, 100%. Like he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But you can definitely argue for the fact that it's not actually that bad, and like what he did maybe did prove stuff about human nature. Like the everyone knows the end scene in that movie where with the boats. Where he gives each boat a detonator, and he says in an hour you'll both die if you don't explode each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I like. I know you prefer Marvel so much over DC, but like the one thing I give DC credit to is like it's more appealing. Pardon?
It doesn't hold back.
Not like kind of like what I'm gonna say is like they appeal more to like the mature crowd.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Marvel will definitely make more money because they appeal more to like the child crowd. But like you can be an adult and enjoy the shit out of a Marvel movie too, 100%. Right? Like I don't know, they do it so well, but like if you're a child,
can be way deeper.
Yeah, and if you're a child, you won't really enjoy The Dark Knight.
No, definitely not.
No, because you got to understand like how the justice system works and how what a district attorney is and like all this shit that like only really adults.
And it's like very philosophical too, that movie.
Exactly, like the human nature thing in the end. Like, are you gonna you're a bunch of innocent people on a boat and you can kill a bunch of convicts and survive, but like you're the innocent people, so it's like you're gonna have a hard time killing a bunch of convicts because you're innocent.
And if you do that, you're just as guilty as the convicts you just killed.
And the convicts are thinking like, "Fuck, man! Like these people are innocent. Why the fuck would I want to kill them?" Yeah, it's like a dilemma. Obviously, it's a movie, and we ended up having a happy ending where all of them survived. But like what the fuck? Like, what if that was real life, there would have been no fucking Bruce Wayne to be like, hey guys, I'm saving. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, what would have even happened? I think probably both boats would have exploded.
I think so too. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It would depend like what type of people you had on the boat.
We should explain what happened. So like, there's two boats on a ferry or something.
There's two separate freighters. Yeah. Joker, before the people loaded onto those boats, the Joker went on them and he loaded them both with bombs. Yeah. To the rim, right? If they click the detonator, everyone's dead. Yeah. So he puts the detonator to the opposing boats on the opposite boat. So the criminals have the detonator to explode the civilians. The civilians have the detonator to explode the prisoners. Exactly. Yeah. And then he gives them like an hour time limit.
Yeah, and what ended up happening before I don't know, I think it was an hour. I think it was like midnight or something. Yeah. But the convicts, one of the guys, he took the fucking remote and he just threw it out the window. He's like, fuck this, bro. We deserve to die. Like, fuck, man. We're the fucking prisoners. They're a bunch of innocent people.
I don't even know if it was like, we deserve to die, but I think it was more like, it's just, you can't kill that many people. No, it's just can't. No matter what. Like,
and then there was the one guy that was innocent, like one of the civilians. He's like, I'll do it. Yeah. And he couldn't fucking do it. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, and that's like even me. Like, I'm thinking, like, dude, that'll not be hard. You just press a button. But in the heat of the moment, it's definitely like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, there's like 100 people on that boat. Like,
would you rather live knowing that you would just done that or die?
The book you showed me last week. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Yeah, like what? So the whole thing there was like, I'm gonna draw it out. Since we have a whiteboard, it's gonna be perfect. So like, let's say you have a button that makes the train go left. Okay, you can click this button and you're a person that can click it. But like, there's two routes for the train. You can either kill 1, 2, 4 people or 1. So like, I don't know if you guys can see this. I really hope you can. But like, so you're the person, you're here, and like you can make the train go left. Right now the train's going right and it's gonna kill 4 people.
That's the biggest point, is the current path of the train.
Yeah.
Is that it's going to
It's gonna kill 4 people. You know this, you see that it's gonna kill 4 people. You can press this button and make it kill 1. And you're initially thinking, like I initially thought, like, fuck it, I'm pressing the button, but then it's like, fuck. You're kind of killing that person, right? Yeah. Like, do you want to do that?
You are directly ending that person's life. Yeah. Whereas if you don't hit the button, you're not directly killing those 4 people. You're just kind of you let the nature of things happen.
100%. And it's like, it's such a hard question. I'd have to be in the situation to.
You wouldn't know what you would do.
Yeah. And this is assuming you don't know anyone. They're all just random fucking people from Uganda, for Christ's sakes. Who knows? Right? Like, you don't know. But
even if you do know someone in there, does it change? Fuck like, yeah. Obviously, if it was like your mom, or like.
Well, it depends what side she's on. Yeah. But like if it's like, what if it's like 5 people I know? All 5 of them are people I know. Then it'd be easier to press the button because it's like that's 4 people you know.
That's like the most nightmare situation as a human that you could ever be in.
Oh yeah,
100%. Having to determine what to do in that situation.
100%.
Like I would fucking crumble. I wouldn't know what to do.
But like, okay, so if you press the button, will the 4 people know you pressed it? Yeah. Or like, will people know you pressed
it? Yeah, right. At least the people there, and they know you saved their lives. Because
and those 4 people you're probably
they're all tied up onto the rails.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. No, that's hard. I
assume they're conscious,
but like your answer to that question determines a lot about your philosophy too.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, like rationally speaking, you would hit the button and kill the 1, right?
Yeah.
It just minimizes the damage.
But
what that does to you psychologically.
And humans don't think rationally.
No.
Yeah, so.
Especially in a situation like that. Like,
fuck no, dude. Irrational thinking is out of the brain. Because like you're scared. And when you're scared, rational thinking is not happening anymore.
Unless you're like a super composed person. But even
I think being super composed is so important towards success.
I look at Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And it's like everything he says is like ultra composed.
Like,
and it's just like he's calculating every single word.
Because you know why? Everything he does with logic, no emotion.
Yeah.
He's like emotion. Like,
well, he has Asperger's, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Which is like a social. It's like a socially. How do I word this? It's
Does it eliminate emotion?
It doesn't eliminate emotion, but like it kind of, you're a less social person. It's a less social version of autism. So basically, like all your social skills, they're not gone, but like they don't really exist. So you operate very logically, very by the numbers. Very
okay, and that could be a curse and a blessing. Like, I wouldn't recommend Elon Musk go into sales.
No.
Yeah. Like, he was an engineer.
He's not like charismatic, right? Like
no, he stutters and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. A part of me feels like he stutters on purpose. To like, I don't know why, because like he's always like 10,000 steps ahead, and I couldn't tell you why. But I've seen clips of this guy speak articulately for like 10 fucking minutes, and he's just fucking going on like a fucking genius. And then sometimes I see him, and he's like, "Yeah, so we're gonna go to Mars, and yeah, so SpaceX."
And he'll pause.
Like, yeah, he
for
does.
Like 3 seconds.
And he definitely. There's no doubt in my mind he does that on purpose.
Yeah, maybe he's just doing it to like evoke a reaction
or like be more listenable.
Yeah.
Or like, I think a lot of what he does, he wants people to relate to him more. Cause like he's fucking on Twitter posting like memes and shit. Like,
yeah.
What kind of fucking billionaire does that?
He's selling himself. Right?
Exactly, right? Like, he wants people to like him, and he does a fucking amazing job at it. Like, I've never met anyone that genuinely hates Elon Musk. Like, Bill Gates, so many people hate that fucker.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, so many people hate him, but like, no one hates Musk, dude. Like, everyone's like, yeah, I fucking like that guy.
Yeah, he's relatable, right? Like, he doesn't really ruffle any feathers. He kind of.
Meanwhile, he has more money than all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking sick.
He appeals to the young because he's on Twitter and posts memes and.
That goes to show, though. Like, my one buddy, my friend Ace, he told me public image is so important. So the reason Tesla is so big,
in that industry,
in making money in general, like the reason Tesla is so big is because of Elon Musk's public image, and that's kind of it. Like, it's a really good electric car company, and like their numbers are good and they're constantly growing, but.
Elon Musk is viewed as this guy who's trying to save humanity, right? Like he's trying to save the world. He's trying to eliminate
said that like
carbon.
It's not only because of that. He said like no scientist can genuinely prove that like CO2 emissions are the cause for climate change or like rising global temperatures. Like no one can actually prove that. He said that the reason he's doing this is because oil's finite, and like one day we're gonna have to transport without oil. And like this is a perfect way to do it. He genuinely wants humans to like colonize planets.
Yeah.
It's fucked, eh? Like we went from colonizing countries 500 years ago. Now he wants to start colonizing planets.
Yeah.
That's fucked, dude. And like, you know how long it would take to colonize a whole fucking planet? But let's say we colonize one, then we have all this advanced technology. Like a lot of planets we can't live on.
Even Earth, like we might not be able to live on it forever.
Yeah.
So
I know.
what he's doing with trying to
he
transport
knows
us
that,
to other, he knows that.
Yeah.
So trying to transport us to other planets, it's like people view that as like a like something that a good Samaritan would do because
exactly.
trying to help future people
who
might not be able to live on Earth.
And dude, I think he outsources a lot of his work. Like he works all day. I know he does. Cause like you kind of have to if you're.
But yeah, he must outsource. He's got like 4 companies.
Dude, exactly, dude. And Tesla and SpaceX aren't jokes, dude. Like they're both. Tesla was at one point $1 trillion company, which is retarded, and then SpaceX is. He's fucking insane. And like what his strategy is with SpaceX. So he has like his president or something. She's a woman. I don't know. She's like right below him, and her job is to make the like employees more comfortable with what they're doing. And as soon as he sees that they're like comfortable, like okay, they're getting good at this, he throws like a fucking rock at them. Like, okay, now you got to do this, and like now you got to get uncomfortable because this is how you're gonna grow. And like that's like real life. Like you have to be uncomfortable to grow.
100%.
As soon as you get comfortable, you're stagnant and you're not getting any better. So that's how he treats his companies. Like he'd treat anyone he's trying to get better. I feel like he treats his companies like it's his baby. Or like his son, like how am I gonna make this the best version?
Yeah, he actually said that in one of the Joe Rogan podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, he said he treats it like it's another kid. He gives all his time to it. And he has kids, right? Like he says he gives less time now because he is a family man now.
Yeah, like he has, dude. I guarantee, like, there's a lot of fields that, like, the people that work for him are a lot smarter than he is in, but he's just the boss. He's the leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being a boss or like a leader doesn't require a high level of IQ. Like, obviously you got to know your shit, but like
it requires more like you got to be able to motivate people
and talk to people. Yeah, and influence people.
It's not like It's not like are you good at math or
no, dude. That's why we have workers and managers. I think that's the difference between a manager and a CEO.
CEO is
like a leader, or a manager and a leader. I should say, yeah. A manager, like the example I gave you, the girl below him, she would be considered the manager. She's helping people. She's smart. She's probably smarter than Elon in a lot of aerospace engineering or whatever the fuck it is. And then like she gets all the employees comfortable with it, and then
Elon makes sure they're on track, right?
And then he'll throw in a fucking rock and be like, "Yep, now we're gonna do this. You guys are gonna become better engineers after this." And,
now we just found the plan.
Yeah, and SpaceX isn't even a public company yet.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder if it ever will be, and if it is, I have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah, anything that guy touches, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, all the best. I'll give you my money.
But like,
the only thing with him, like, I know that he's controversial on Twitter, so I can like.
No, it's like I wanna reply to what you just said. I just don't know how to reply to it. So like, what if he does that like on? No, he does. I know he does. But like, he builds so much trust that like, whether he's actually that much of a genius or not, you genuinely believe anything he touches you can invest in. That's how good he is at influencing people. That's fucked.
Yeah,
that's fucked. Because a lot of people. I that's why I initially bought so much.
But the thing is, like, he does have the facts to back it up.
I know.
He is,
and he works his fucking ass off, dude.
Like, if there's like any man that I want to invest in, and like I truly believe in that what they're gonna do is gonna make a difference, it's him. Like, I don't study enough companies to really.
Yeah, you know? and you know that like chessboard and life are like very similar. Every move counts.
Yeah.
You got to be like 10 steps ahead of your opponent.
Yeah, you're a product of your decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And he's always like 100 steps ahead of everyone.
He's not even playing chess.
Yeah, dude, he's like way ahead. He's playing quantum physics chess.
He's playing a game that hasn't even been invented yet.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. Because like everything he does is like, oh my god, and he's a fucking genius. Trump said he's like, we got to protect our geniuses, like our Nikola Teslas, our Thomas Edisons. He's one of them. And like, he's very powerful too.
Can we pause this?
Why?
I gotta get a drink of water.
Dude, don't worry about it. We're getting done soon. We're gonna call it a day. You gotta watch the Rangers game. That was a good podcast though.
I want to talk a little bit more before we end this.
Okay, we were talking about Musk. We have to take a quick water break there. No problemo. We should have had bottles on standby. Now I know for the next time.
Fucking hell. Disappointed. I was gonna be treated like a king.
But okay, so you said you wanted to make one final point before we end the podcast. Let's hear it.
Yes. Okay. So I want to kind of like conclude the money discussion, and like my biggest like the way I think about money is like I love thinking about it. What it would have been like living in a time where money didn't exist, which I know is like kind of irrelevant because that's never going to be a possibility. Are we recording?
How would it even? No, I'm not doing the microphone. Remember? Yeah.
So like I think about living, say 250 years ago when they didn't have currency. So everything that you had to, anything that you wanted to attain, say I wanted to attain a new pair of shoes or tomatoes, I would have had to trade something that I have
bartering.
I would have had to trade something that I have made. Dude. I kind of love it. It's almost like a game, you know.
But you do understand the amount of flaws that come with it.
There's so many flaws. Like there's not going to be a lot of scenarios where you want exactly what I have,
exactly. And let's say someone else,
exactly what you have,
someone else is has a like wheat farm. So he's making like fucking bread and shit. He's like his currency is way more valuable than anyone else's.
If I'm a tomato farmer, if tomatoes aren't in season, I have no way of
and it's not
generating income or income, whatever.
And realistically, in a way, you can barter right now. Like you're just what you're trading your goods for is money.
The marketplace,
you can sell anything. There's nothing. Oh my god, you're gonna make this podcast last forever. But like, I wanted to finish. This is why it's so important to learn the ability of selling things. You can have the greatest product in the world. If you can't convince people that it's the greatest product in the world...
It comes back to the Musk discussion, right?
Exactly. 100%. So
Another big flaw with bartering is like, say I make, I don't know, fucking tents. And you sell loaves of bread. Exactly. What am I going to do? Am I going to trade you... I feel like I'm totally contradicting myself. I'm kind of convincing myself of discussion out of this.
But you want to,
what am I going to trade you a tent for?
You like the simpleness of it.
Yeah, I love the simplicity.
And realistically, dude.
And it makes you want to be more creative.
Just because you make tents doesn't mean you can't go out there and fucking kill a raccoon and get his fur. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you can. There's ways around.
It made life so much more simpler. There's only so much basic needs that you had to fulfill. Nobody gave a shit whether they were wearing Adidas sandals or they were wearing Gucci shoes.
No.
You know, like I'm wearing Adidas sandals that I have been wearing for the past 5 years. And if I was wearing Gucci shoes,
you wouldn't feel any different.
I wouldn't feel any different, and that's not going to change.
But that's the simplicity of life. That's your psychology around life and materialistic things.
Exactly. What it comes down to is how much you value the physical world, right?
So the way I view money is not like, fuck, man, I really want materialistic things, and if it wasn't for materialistic things, like
that's where we differ.
I still want money. I still want it. Really? Like I said, it's about the numbers.
Like even if you couldn't go out and buy a yacht or buy a better MacBook,
no, I would still fucking want the money. Oh my god, just because like the thought of owning 1,000 properties is like, fuck yeah. It's like that's so much power, dude. Like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they don't have like that luxurious shit. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett own so much fucking farmland, dude. It's retarded. Oh, that's a bad word. I'm gonna bleep that out.
Don't cancel. Don't cancel. Don't bleep it out. Keep it in. Don't cancel.
You guys know it's, you know what I mean. I said it another time in the podcast too.
Did you bleep it out then?
No, I said it in this one, but doesn't matter. I caught myself after I said it. I'm like, I'm gonna act natural, but like either way, quick. That's a lot of power, dude. Yeah, like money's power, dude. I don't care if Justin Trudeau or Theodore Roosevelt or John F. Kennedy. I don't give a shit who's in office. Whoever has like more money is probably more powerful in my opinion. Like John D. Rockefeller. Holy shit, dude.
I don't know who he is. That's the guy that owns. That's dumb. It's gonna be a dumb question. That's the guy who owns the Rockefeller Center, right? Or it's named after him.
He's dead. Yeah. Okay.
It's named after him.
So this guy, when the Industrial Revolution began, and like they started mining oil and shit, and realizing like, yo, we can use this for energy, had such a monopoly. You know what a monopoly is, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like what Amazon has over online shopping, like, but like it was even worse. Like over the oil industry. He was worth like $400 billion. Yeah, he had so much power. Like he had like an oil company called Standard Oil, and he would go up to other oil companies and be like, "Look, I have way more money than you. I have like way more profits and all this shit than you do. I could get you out of business right now. I could just sell my oil at a 95% discount. Nobody will buy from you. People will only buy from me. I could do that for 5 years. I would be fine because I have so much fucking money. You will go out of business. So due to that, I want to buy your company. If you decline my offer, I'm gonna do that."
So you like the idea
of like having that much power
of
over
not
someone.
Being that other dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have so much fucking money.
You never want to be that dude.
I can do whatever the fuck I want. Right. Yeah. Yeah, because like that other dude must have felt like so belittled. Like holy shit, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, his freedom of
choice was gone. Even if he loves the business, like this guy's got me in a fucking trap. Yeah. So, but like, dude, he built that oil company so big, the government had to like diminish it into like 37 different companies after he died. So like ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron, Enbridge, all that shit, he owned all of it at one point. Like he was the oil industry. $400 billion. That's what he was worth in the 1800s. So that's like a trillionaire now.
Yeah. He probably would have been the richest guy alive if he was.
He's the richest man ever.
Yeah.
By far. By far.
Maybe the Saudis or like the.
Yeah, but like one man, not a family.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think Putin is pretty.
Yeah, we don't know the financial.
He could be number one
right?
too.
Yeah.
He could be number one. I don't know. Like you said, we don't know.
Like there was after the bartering days, like I'm not sure when, but like there was a time in history where currency was invented, but the value of that coin was how much it gave you. So there was like a bronze coin,
okay,
or a silver.
Yeah, no, coin, I know, yeah.
And it was.
Dude, that was before 1972.
Right.
You know the gold standard?
No, I don't.
So, this is exactly what you were saying. So I'm not trying to interrupt, but like I'm trying to build on it.
Yeah.
In 1972, there was a gold standard. So before 1972, they couldn't like print money left and right. There had to be a certain amount of gold like in the country's reserves that backed it.
Right, because that was old money.
Exactly. No, but like the right now the dollars don't mean anything. It's just a number on a fucking screen. Yeah. Like realistically, it only has value because we say it has value. Before 1972, there was a certain amount of gold that backed like our currency. So like there was something that meant our currency had value.
And now the Federal Reserve or whatever it is can just
fucking print it, right? Because we all say, hey, money has like so that basically is like back then the dollar that you had, like the what is it loonie made of? I don't fucking know.
I think it's made of copper now, but it was made of
pennies are made out of copper.
Yeah. Maybe back then it was made out of bronze. But like my biggest demotivating factor with money is it's just I can't shake the fact that it is an illusion. Like I know it is a necessity, but it's
like I said, it's a number on a screen now. That's all it is.
It only has a value because we collectively agree as a society that it has value. If we all of a sudden agreed that a $20 bill was worth $100, we could do that.
I know.
But it's because we all collectively agree that $20 bill is going to buy you $20 worth of items.
People are too stupid to realize that.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. Like you go up to the average Joe on the street, he'll be like, okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
He probably won't even understand what you say. Yeah. So we need everyone to agree on that. It's never going to happen.
No.
So
play the game, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, money's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. And my whole thing is like I do it with the full intent of helping others. I post this shit on TikTok, YouTube. I want everyone to say, I don't have to do this. I want the podcast I love. I love this podcast. I'm gonna do it forever. But like when I go on TikTok and I'm like, do this. I know I'm embarrassing myself. I know people are talking shit about me. But if there's a chance that one person listens to it with an open mind, it's gonna help them get rich. I don't care. That's all I care about. I believe in donating. I believe in philanthropy. For the right reason. Like me and Vatan talked about this. I hate fucking. I never know the person's context, but I wouldn't give money to a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're just.
It's hard too because you don't know if
exactly
they're going to use it.
Like,
you're better off giving it to a foundation that helps homeless people than giving it directly to a homeless person. I
don't even believe in that. Like my version of donating is like, okay, we were friends when I was poor. I'm gonna buy you a fucking Lamborghini. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I know I'm giving it to someone I trust, and like I know that like I'm making their fucking day better, and I grew up with them.
You know, it's gotta be something you care about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't believe in. Oh, this is gonna get so canceled. But I don't believe in donating to cancer because I think that like, look, man, cancer is horrible, and I really fucking fuck cancer. Like, I'm a firm believer in fuck cancer, but I also say fuck pharmacy and fuck the pharmaceutical industry because they have a fucking cure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And if they don't, when they find one, they're not going to tell you because they make so much money off cancer patients. I'm going to get so canceled.
I don't know if I believe that, but like,
it makes sense though.
It's like I find it very hard to, rationally donate to cancer just because there's been so much money already donated to it.
Exactly. So it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing with this money?
Yeah.
So they make money off the donations too, eh?
Yeah.
They make money.
They have to pay their doctors and shit.
Yeah. They make money off the donations, and they make money off all the chemotherapy. Thing is, with the cure for cancer, you have a cure, you get your customer one time, done.
Yeah.
He's not coming back for you.
What's that saying? The mental asylum never cures you of insanity.
Yeah, because they want you to come back.
Yeah. They want you to come back.
It's so hard because you got to look at it from their perspective. They don't care about your health. What they want is to make money. So,
I like to think though that there is like people in there that do
100%.
genuinely care about
100%. But like they don't call the shots. The rich people call the shots. Yeah. So their business model is we make sick people healthy, meaning that their customers are sick people. So why would they want to make sick people healthy?
Again, this is again like only fuels my anger towards money because
exactly.
none of this would happen if money, like, I know it has to exist. And I'm just having trouble finding an opposing...
Change the world, no.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding an opposing system that would make it work. But it's just, all of this happens because people are greedy. And people are only greedy because that money exists.
I know.
And it's like, how do you fix it? I don't fucking know.
And your psychology is like, I can't do this. It's wrong. And my psychology is like, can't change it. Might as well play the game. Yeah. That's the whole difference. I'm glad we actually had the discussion because it's a clear view of our differences and how we do it. Because I don't actually like a lot of the like what you believe. I don't disagree with. My reaction to it is different. Your reaction is like, fuck, this sucks. My reaction is, can't do anything about it. Going for it. You know what I mean? People fucking blow, dude. Like, people suck. People only care about themselves. It's never gonna change.
Some people.
No. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Well, what are you gonna do about it? Anyways, you have any final thoughts that you want to make before what's going on?
I just want to, anyone who is still listening, and like, God bless if you're fucking still listening to this. What Richard's doing here, like, honestly, I know a lot of people, like, kind of judge without really thinking it through, but, like, it takes fucking courage, man. And, like, before you judge him, like, I'll admit, like, I have judged. I've seen some of your TikToks, and, like, maybe I judged, but I didn't realize that's what you meant.
Dude, I meant it from a good heart, dude.
It's coming from the heart, and that's what matters.
Yeah, always.
And, like, just, I don't know, take a second just to
listen,
consider the full situation. And if he asked you to come on this podcast, like, why the fuck not? I could just come on it for the hell of it.
Dude, what do you lose? Man, like, if y'all wanna fucking live that average life, go to university, have a job, die, go for it. But I'm not doing that. I want to do what everyone else is not doing. That's what we do over here.
What's the worst second half?
Still what?
What's the worst second half? That should be
exactly. Yeah. What is
your podcast?
Every time it should, dude. Always ask yourself before you do something, and like you're scared. What's the worst that can happen? You want to fucking go up to that girl, tell you like her. Worst that can happen, she says no. Oh, dude, look. Okay, I'm gonna give you this book before I end it.
Yeah. So I commend you, and you have my full respect for
doing this. No problem. This is the book I'm reading right now. It's an absolutely amazing read. Courage is Calling, guys. Look, this will teach you that being fearless will change your life, okay? Stop being scared of shit. Unless, like, someone tells you to go fucking jump off a cliff and you're guaranteed to die, there's, like, no reason you should be scared. When you do shit that's scary, you only grow. You don't grow when you just sit there in comfort, okay? So, do scary shit, be courageous, live life, man. I don't care if anyone's judging me. Fuck, I'm not in high school anymore, okay? Anyways, that's it?
That's it.
Alright, Rsaba podcast number 4 is probably definitely the longest one I've had.
Before your outro, next time I come on here, if there's a next time, I want that fucking chair.
Okay, no, we're gonna get a better chair, don't worry. We're gonna get a better chair. We're just getting started. Okay, see ya. Oh.